This is Metroid Dread Naught Demon Hunter. Originally a Doom mod with a fresh layer of paint on the HUD with not a whole lot else going on. Can you really call this a fan game? I mean, possibly, although if you ask me, not really. You see, today on the show I plan to showcase games that are true full fan games based within the world of Metroid. Massive thanks to the peeps in my Discord who have been helping share these games with me. Some made the list and some didn't. Make sure you follow, as I'm going to be doing one of these bad boys next. Might even make some of them a top 100. Massive shout out to games like Metroid 3, a Super Metroid remake that sure doesn't exactly look perfect gameplay wise, but does indeed deserve massive props for simply looking this good within the world of Metroid fan games. As always, every game mentioned, including ones I've already mentioned, will be found down below unless otherwise stated. This is 10 nuts Metroid fan games. Welcome to Slope's Game Room, your one-stop shop for gaming and Kickstarter scam projects. I hate to do this, guys, but please do hit that subscribe button and the notification bell if you like my content. YouTube has not been promoting my content to my own subscribers in 2021, but so far this year we are on an upswing because you are subscribing and hitting the bell. By doing this, not only are you going to be keeping up to date, but you'll also be helping notify YouTube too that more people want to see this content. Anyway, enough of all of that. Before going ahead, a quick word from this video sponsor, Skillshare. Long-time viewers of the channel will know that I am a big fan of doing whatever I can to upgrade the channel. I've spoken in the past about finding new ways to edit my videos and the audio in my videos, and of course you've got hundreds of editor-focused content on Skillshare for whatever program you use. And I've also talked in the past about focusing heavily on the marketing side of the channel, finding out how to promote yourself on Twitter, on Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is you use. And again, you've got plenty of classes on how to do this very thing. And now with the explosion of shorts on my second channel and putting that same content out on places like TikTok and Instagram, I'm using Skillshare to find out how to do it correctly. And that is what Skillshare is all about, finding something that you want to get better at and going to Skillshare to learn from the experts on how to do that very thing. You can of course try and do it yourself and, you know, hey, you might get lucky. Or you can spend an hour or so learning how to do it right the first time. That's what I've been doing, and it's really helped the channel multiple times for multiple reasons. And now, thanks to this particular sponsorship, you guys can too by clicking the link below and being one of the first 1,000 people to sign up, where you'll be able to experience thousands of courses for free, plus you will be supporting the channel by doing so. Thank you Skillshare for sponsoring this video, but right now let's carry on with the video. Okay, so this one is probably the most impressive on the list, in the top 2 or 3 at least. I always have a soft spot for games that are more than just simple sprite swaps, nothing against those games, but games like Prime 2D are without a doubt the most original. As the name suggests, this is a remake of the original Metroid Prime, the incredible Metroid Prime, absolutely one of the greatest games ever made, but in 2D. Team SCU went to town with this game, perfectly capturing the feel of the original, and it plays so good. With your mouse you control which way you'll shoot, and with the keyboard you control your movements. In all honesty, this would work fine with a controller too, but as it is a fan project, I appreciate the change up. Like I said, the game feels great, it looks unbelievable, and even though it is short, I do suggest you go and check it out, even if this is all you're ever gonna get, because the game has been hit with a C&D. And seriously, if this team is making something else with this same engine, you can be damn sure that I will be checking it out. New Metroid Legacy is worth mentioning here, even though it has most definitely been surpassed by other hacks and unofficial sequels since. However, this Super Metroid ROM hack that was released back in 2005 was so well respected for its time that many saw it as the first true unofficial sequel to one of the best games in the series. It's a cool one to play if you are addicted to the original and think you know the map perfectly well, because even though it starts off almost exactly the same, the further you go, the stranger it gets. Mixed up level designs, changed weapon placements results in a game that is still being sped run to this very day. Metroid Planets. As the title suggests, lets Samus jump from planet to planet. The first is actually a remake, but several others are actually entirely new. On top of that, the game features a lot of extra animations, bosses, and of course playable areas, making it a truly unique experience for fans of the NES original. Sometimes the original style and moveset is the preferred choice, and it's games like this one that really do show us what could have been if Metroid went all Mega Man, releasing what looks like essentially the same game over and over. However, play it and you will soon discover just how individualistic it really is. Metroid is next up, a small game, get it? With a whole lot of heart. The soundtrack, the art, and even the actual size of the game is very cute, and it's really so unique because of all of this. Of course, it's not going to be taking you all that long to complete, but in my opinion it's fully worth the experience. The controls feel pretty tight and the exploration is spot on, even if the actual play area feels very zoomed in, which definitely makes the final boss a real chore to fight. Thankfully, once you worked out the pattern, it's not all that bad. Here's hoping more is made from this, as I would happily play a sequel or an extended version of the game. And hey, if this isn't mini enough for you, then perhaps I could suggest MTRD or Metroid if you prefer. If you want a ROM hack with arguably the best world design of any Metroid fan game, then Metroid Vitality might just be for you. It really is mind-blowing how many reused tile sets are used in these ROM hacks in interesting ways that make the game feel entirely new. This eerie chapter that starts off as nothing more than Samus needing to get out of a ship to stretch her legs ends up as one of the more hard-hitting stories within the world of fan hacks. Great music, great atmosphere. This is definitely one to play in the dark on some big noise cancelling booming headphones. So, Metroid Dread Dmake. So here's one that's super up to date and relevant. Metroid Dread is quite possibly one of my favourite games of the year. In fact, whilst I script this, I'm struggling to think of anything that can beat it. And one fan game by the name of Elves has decided to demake the first 5 minutes or so of the game and get it working on an official Game Boy Color. Seriously, if you have ways to play ROMs on the original hardware, then go for it. Metroid Dread Dmake honestly doesn't look or play all that well compared to the original, but still, it is faithful and a cool little experiment nonetheless. Metroid Origins isn't as big as the others, only having 3 fairly open areas to explore, but sometimes that's a good thing. Of course, you could go off the beaten path quite a bit as per usual in this series, but you can also finish this one in under an hour, and that's perfect for a game like this. It's great looking using the M engine and has been polished up to a pretty decent degree, giving fans plenty to enjoy in this rather short but still very enjoyable experience. Metroid Rogue Dawn is next on the list, and when it comes to ROM hacks, this one is easily near the top of the list when it comes to the more well-known games in the scene. You play as Dawn Aaron, no relation, and the story acts as a prequel to the original. Thankfully, a few upgrades made their way into the game, like a map. Yes, you may have actually forgotten that the original never had a map, which makes navigating this eerie backstory a lot more tolerable this time round. The latest patch of the game, as of the recording of this video, is 1.21, and it's my understanding that the quality, primarily the way that Dawn controls, is much improved. If you want fan fiction done right, then Rogue Dawn is the way to go. Starting off as a simple ROM hack called Project Base, and I really do use the word simple badly here, Super Metroid Project Base is essentially a far more polished ROM hack of Super Metroid, allowing for much smoother mechanics, a couple of level edit layout changes, graphical changes, and a whole heap more. Within the world of ROM hacking and speedrunning, this game is majorly loved by all, and any hardcore fan of the original Super Metroid will soon understand why. However, as great as that ROM hack is, what I want to talk about is Hyper Metroid, yet another ROM hack that is kind of a ROM hack of a ROM hack. In other words, someone new came along and used the already improved upon engine to make a whole new experience. Hyper Metroid feels like the Super Metroid game that we never got. Obviously it has all of the previous updates that make Project Base so great, but this time uses all the original game tile sets and in my opinion completely improves upon them to make a truly unique experience. You see, when you take away the limitations of Samus from the original game, what you're left with is a character that can practically fly through the majority of the game, breaking it over and over again in order to complete it as quickly as possible, hence why speedrunning communities love the game so much. In Hyper Metroid, Real Red takes the new gotta go fast backflipping lass that's injected with more girl power than she should probably have for the original and puts her in the world that's super fun to explore with the mechanics. Long winding rooms and extremely tall areas are the norm here, and exploring them feels awesome. For newcomers it's probably a tad too big with bosses that really do come out of nowhere, but for the people that really do want to give it a good amount of time and have completed the original at least, this game is a must. Right, so here it is, the most obvious on this list, and therefore to make this segment a tad more exciting, let's go back to the beginning, back when Milton Gusty, aka Dr. M64, who had just finished playing Zero Mission, which if you didn't know was an official remake of the first game, got to work like many others did, recreating the second game, which was not so confusingly titled Metroid 2. He, like many others, wanted to modernise the slower Game Boy game, and with the help of many others providing the artwork and music, AM2R, aka another Metroid 2 remake, was born. Unfortunately, just like many projects, this one didn't last all that long, possibly due to the fact that Nintendo themselves were already working on a remake themselves for the 3DS. The game feels utterly fantastic. Some would argue that the 10-year development by the hardcore fans actually helped this control even better than what came before it, and possibly even after it. I can't stress this enough. AM2R isn't only the best fan-made Metroid, but one of the best fan-made games, period. Up there with the likes of Streets of Rage Remake, Portal Stories Mel, Sonic ATS and Black Mesa. Taking what is essentially a very linear experience on the Game Boy and exploding it with new areas, new bosses, familiar upgrades found in newer games, and so much more. If Nintendo made this, it would be ranked very highly on their own list of best ever games, even beating some Metroid titles that they themselves made. Sadly as stated, the game is gone. Nintendo nuked this bad boy, which, to be fair, is understandable, so if you want to play it, you're just going to have to go and find it yourself. All is not lost though, as Dr. M64 was so well respected off the back of this game that he ended up getting himself a job at Moon Studios, where he worked on one of my all-time favourite games, Ori and the Blind Forest. Not bad, not bad. Hey there guys, thanks for checking out the video. This is the part of the video where I'd like to give a massive shout out to all of the Patrons and YouTube members. But before I do, like I said in the video, get your way over to my Discord, because I'll plan to do another one of these top fan game things on franchises like Doom, Streets of Rage, Mario, Sonic. And if you guys got any games within those franchises that you think I should definitely check out and put into a future video, make your way over there and go and suggest them. Yeah, I really enjoyed making this video, so yeah, I'm looking forward to playing plenty of other fan games within those franchises too. So yes, but anyway, like I said, this is the part of the video where I'd like to give a massive shout out to all of the patrons that support this channel and allow me to make videos like these every single week. with an extra big shout out going to Aaron Gorman, Aggro Crag, Akatimo84, Andrew Dalton, Arista, Benjamin Guy, Big Rico, Bram Perez, Chev Matic, Chris the Shapeshifter, Chris Walker, Christopher Devero, Clan Bob, Conrad Constantine, The Action Saxon, Daniel Terrazaz, Dina81, Digsy B, Game Apologist, Gary Pinkett, Ian Quall, Intrigues Gaming, Atalki Teacher, The Ashen Knight, Jay's Manchild, Jabba Al Aiden, James, Jeff Mianowski, Jeremy Bauer, Jeremy Rodriguez, Josh Gibbons, King Link Reviews, King of Carrot Flower, Luca Softail, Luca Jorgensen, Man Shovel, Matt Jackson, Michael Ridley Dash, Mike Fallon, Mind of the Unsane, Nicholas Burton and Nick Pollard, Over Joel Zane, Roll VP, Ray Blair, Retro to Next Gen, aka Lou, Richard Alderjick, Rovan Army, Ryan Holtz, Sir Nilsson, Shade Silence, Solex Captor, Stephen, Taylor Rainwater, That Gamer, The Cunning Linguist, The Sneaky Ferret, Tim Lund, Toddpool Float G, Vitus Varnes, Vike Echo, What Was the Mean, The Wonder Ducks, and Ye Old Hamburglar. As stated, guys, everyone I just mentioned, plus many more people, allow me to make these videos. So if you guys want to support the show, see what I'm working on, including the massive Amico kick scammer video I'm working on and piecing together now, then make your way over to Patreon or YouTube memberships and, yeah, sign up for as little as you wish. Plus you get to see all of the unedited exclusive stuff as well, which is never a bad thing, is it? No, no, no. This is DJ Slope signing out, everyone, and hopefully I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.